What's up, HyperFast Nation? On this episode of the show, we are taking a look at qualifying buyers, which I think is going to be even more important to do up front with the new changes coming in the post NAR settlement. Stand by for the next episode of the HyperFast Show. All right, welcome back to this show. Today we are talking buyers and specifically qualifying buyers. And this, I believe, will become even more important in the post-NAR settlement world, which, those changes are scheduled to take place a little over a month from when this is airing, from today. So this is on the horizon, right? We're all going to have to operate in this new world where we actually have to get buyer agreements signed up front, which I think is something you should have been doing all along anyway. And our compensation is going to be dictated more so on what we negotiate in that value presentation up front. Even more important, I think, in this, or even more important, this will become, is going to be qualifying buyers, right? If your compensation is, up in the air, right? If you have to get commitment up front, you want to make sure that the people you are working with are actually qualified, right? Especially in this environment, because what happens if you have unqualified buyers, they end up just wasting a lot of their time, a lot of your time, and that's time you could have been spent with qualified people, time you could have spent generating new leads, time you could have spent with your family, or just doing fun things. So however you look at it, right, working with unqualified buyers is going to slow down your business, slow down your enjoyment in life. And on this podcast show and everything that Carrie and I do, we're all about helping real estate agents live better lives. And working with qualified buyers is better for everyone. It's better for you, better for the buyers. And a lot of agents skip this step up front, I think, because they're operating from a place of scarcity, right? They're operating from a place that they need every lead. So this is where the people that learn how to prospect, learn how to lead generate, have a massive advantage, right? Because if you are lead generating, if you know that you can create an abundance and overflow of leads, then you will be more okay, right, to turn down an unqualified buyer. I think a lot of real estate agents skip this step because they're afraid of turning anyone down, because they're so scarcity mindset, scarcity driven when it comes to leads. So the first thing you want to do, right, once you've set the appointment, and hopefully you're setting it at a coffee shop or your office, right, you're actually meeting with them, not just going out and showing them the first home they want to see, right? Hopefully you are meeting with them up front. This is part of the buyer process that Carrie and I have been doing for, a dozen years, right? We meet up front, we communicate how the process works, the value we add, do a needs analysis, and qualify them. Okay, so how do you qualify them? Well, a couple things, right? You want to find out their timing, you want to find out their motivation. Okay, so how do you find out their timing? Well, simple. Questions like, are you in a lease, right? When is your lease up? If I found you the ideal, and that's assuming they're renting, right? They may be a move-up buyer, which is fine too. Ask them questions such as this, right? Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, if I found you the perfect home today and the financing and payments were not an option, right? The price was right. How soon would you like to be in that house? That's how you find the timing, right? That's that one question, right? That is the one question that will help you find the timing. Motivation, all right? Hey, what? Just ask, right? Be direct. Hey, I understand you want to buy a 2-bedroom house in this area, or 2-bedroom condo, or 3-bedroom townhouse, 4-bedroom single family, whatever it is, right? I understand that's what you want to buy. Let me ask, why do you think that's the next best house for you, right? And they'll tell you. And then keep asking open-ended questions. Like, tell me more. Or that's interesting. Can you tell me why? Like, questions like that will help you establish their motivation. All right. Now, you definitely want to get their timing and motivation. You have to also make sure that they are able to buy, right? You need to financially qualify them, right? You need to ask, like, hey, how much money do you have available to put down, right? Are you going to be getting a loan, or is this an all cash purchase? And that is becoming more common. Like 30 in some markets, 30% or more of all deals right now are cash, right? A lot of people are sitting on equity, and um, interest rates are higher, so there's more all cash deals out there. So just ask them, like, hey, are you buying cash? Are you getting a loan? How much money do you have to put down, right? What kind of monthly payment are you comfortable with? Okay, so you have this much to put down. You're comfortable with this monthly payment. Hey, guess what? I work with a really good lender. I can actually get them on the phone right now. This is one of the things we do. We like to get the lender on the phone with them in that initial buyer consult. They can ask you a few short questions, and 10 to 15 minutes, we'll be able to determine what your actual price range is for the payments that you say you're comfortable making, and if you're qualified, right? So connect them with a lender right away and determine what their financial qualifications are, right? You can do a little of this yourself too, by the way, but you got as a real estate agent, you're probably not as good at it as a lender, right? So work with an expert lender, work with really great lender partners, and have them available during your buyer presentation to do a quick pre-qual on the phone. And then, of course, like the full application before you go out shopping for homes. But that's going to give them an idea, all right, of what they can afford. And then that will help you, right, as the real estate agent, to actually search for homes in that price range. So once you know that, their timing, their motivation, and the payments that they qualify for and that they're comfortable with, now you can do this all in the first meeting too, right? Now you sit down with them and you actually put in the search criteria. Okay, 3 bedrooms, this price range, this area that you said you liked. This is what sold in the last 6 months or 12 months, right? This is called the reality check analysis, by the way, which we put out a 9-part series where we basically gave away our buyer course on this podcast. If you look, it came out in the middle of like Q3 in 2023. So if you go look for the Master the Buyer Game on the HyperFast Agent podcast or YouTube, you'll see Carrie going through all of this. This is the same like course that people have paid, hundreds of dollars for to get. And we put all 9 parts of it out on this podcast. And it talks about this reality check analysis. But this basically lets you do this backward search, figure out, and then figure out which ones they would have bought, right? And that'll tell you how likely it is you're going to find something, or if they need to adjust their price range or their area or location or size, right? There's, you can kind of do this with them live and really get everything lined up before you start, showing them homes. And if you follow this process, I'm telling you, if you follow this process, if you qualify them up front, right, you ask them that timing question, you ask them why to get the motivation, and then you get them in touch with a lender, you're going to make so much better use of your time and theirs. Now, potentially, right, this will weed out some people, right? There will be some tire kickers, some dreamers, some people that just aren't ready, and that's okay, right? You can, then at least not waste their time, right? So if they have this, price point that's up to 500 to get what they want, but they're really only qualified for 200, well, now you can have a real conversation with them. Well, do you want to adjust your search, go to different areas, look for prices in the 200 range, 250 range? You tell me how I best help you. I'd love to find you, what you want, but unfortunately that's well above what you're qualified for, right? If you have that conversation up front in a respectful way, you're using what the professional lender told them, you're using what the reality check analysis, right, the data told them, then you're not the bad guy. You're the one that just helped them readjust their expectations to the right level. And maybe they're going to go search in that 200K level, or maybe they're just not ready to do anything yet, and that's okay. You can stay in touch, build a relationship, right, but then focus most of your energies on prospecting and generating people that are willing, right, and able and ready to go now. So I hope you guys take the time to qualify your buyers up front. This is going to make so much better use of your time and your clients and just create an overall better experience for everyone. And, we're going to be doing more buyer content stuff on this podcast. So if you have more things specifically with buyers, I know a lot of real estate agents are nervous with the changes coming in NAR. So we're going to spend a lot of time on helping you deliver more value to your buyer clients and getting paid more during this change period we're going through, which I think will be a huge opportunity for those that lean in, learn, and execute. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the show. Before I sign off, I do want to mention we are looking for more agents to partner with at EXP Realty. We've been there for nearly 2 years. We've got over 600 people in our groups there. My wife and I, Carrie, we are helping agents in over 20 states now, I believe, or close to that. We're helping them sell more homes with the training and coaching we give. We're helping them keep more commission. We're helping them build revenue share, right? Monthly recurring residual income. If you want to be a part of this and get all of our training and coaching for free, as well as all the benefits you get for being an EXP, I'd love to have that conversation. All you need to do is send me a text message. It's 703-638-4393. Again, just send me a text at 703-638-4393. Thanks for tuning into this episode of the show. I'll see you next time.